prospecting so that you never have to cold call, door knock, or spend money on ads ever again if you don't want to. And of course, those things can be effective, but you have to ask yourself, are they the most efficient that you can do that? And I always start out, always give a big shout out and a thank you to my man and my partner, Travis Plumb. I just, thank you. So I just collected the clients. I don't know if that thing's, oh, there it goes. I just collected the clients, Travis converted them, and that's how our partnership works on there. So this is it. You know, it's funny, we got an opportunity to speak at Build a couple of weeks ago with Tony Robbins, 6,000 agents. And I was up there, and it was like mega producer after mega producer, thousands of transactions, billions of dollars of real estate sold. And then we get up there and we're like, all right, here's our stats. In 2020, we sold 0 homes. And in Q1 of 2021, we sold 0 homes. All right, so there's our numbers. Congratulations, right? Everybody wants to do what we do, right? After selling 0 homes. Well, we just got in the game in December of 2020 and released the first YouTube video on December 5th of 2020. This was the strategy that we chose, went all in 100%. And then here's what happened. So it took about 90 days to get that first deal under contract. And then in April of 2021, we closed the first 2 deals from YouTube. Now, here's what happened over the next 15 months is that we generated 1,696 leads. We did 217 transactions and converted at 13%. So just over 121 million in volume, 3.6 million in commissions, and we did that all organic with no ad spend to the channel at all whatsoever, 0 marketing budget. So that's how powerful one platform can be. I think if you focus all in on that platform. So here's the deal. I mean, my friend, some of you may know Michael Reese. He's been trying to get me into real estate for 20 years. And the thing was, I just never really was interested in being a real estate agent. Nothing wrong with agents, of course. We all love agents. But, you know, I understood the stats, right? I understood that 87% of agents fail in the first 2 years. And that's really not just agents, it's small businesses in general. They have a high rate of failure in the first couple of years. And, you know, I saw how hard he worked as well. It was funny, Reese and I sold gym memberships together at Bally Total Fitness. That's how I learned so somebody knows what Bally's is. And that's where we sold gym memberships together. I remember he went to the lake one weekend and met Jay Kinder. I remember the weekend at the club, he came back and he's like, I'm getting into real estate. Because he met Jay Kinder and he was driving a cigarette boat at like 22 years old. So he was like, I know what I'm doing. I'm not selling memberships anymore. And I was kind of like, all right, well, I'm good. I'll just kind of hang out and watch what you do. And I saw how hard he worked in the first 3 years. So as making the transition into real estate, I'd ask myself, why do agents fail? And you look at the stats, most agents start with less than $5,000, and that's probably going to pay their bills for the next month or two, so it doesn't leave them a lot of marketing. Even according to NAR, if you look on their website, it says the average agent with 2 years or less experience makes $8,800 a year. That sounds like an amazing career choice, right? So you got people beating down the door wanting to be an agent. But it comes down, it's a rejection-based business. That's why sales has such a high turnover rate, is because it's a lot of rejection, and ultimately, nobody likes to get rejected. It doesn't matter what anybody says, right? And then it really comes down to not being effective at lead generation. That's really why people get out of the business. It's why small businesses fail as well, getting customers in the door. So when making the transition into real estate, I wanted to understand, where are the eyeballs? Where are people actually looking? Well, if I looked at Plano, Texas, which is a major suburb of Dallas, I noticed that it got about 90,500 searches per month on Google, which is great. But if you look at that search volume on YouTube, Plano, Texas gets searched 834,000 times a month. That's 10 times the amount of search volume on YouTube than it is on Google. So that told me right there that people want to see these neighborhoods. They want to, see them through video versus just read about them on Google. And so here's the deal. This is what led me to discover the passive prospecting principles, and that's intention-based, global reach, compounding time, and attraction-based. So let's just jump into a couple of these real quickly. Interruption versus intention-based marketing. The thing is that as agents, we've either experienced or we've conducted interruption marketing our entire lives. And it's no fault of ours, it's just what we've been taught, but that's TV commercials, it's billboards, it's magazine ads, it's cold calling, it's door knocking, it's meeting somebody at Starbucks. Again, that stuff works, but ultimately we're interrupting people during their time, right? They say on average we see 8,000 ads per day, and we tune that out because we're not buying 8,000 products a day. right? So we just tune that out. What do you do during TV commercials? You get up, you go to the restroom, you get something to eat, you probably check your phone. Nobody says, hey, I can't wait to watch Seinfeld for the TV commercials. And so the thing is you could see a dog food commercial 10 times a day. It doesn't mean you're going to run out and buy dog food. But the second you pour out the last bowl of dog food, nobody wants Fluffy to die, right? I mean, she's nice and cute running around back there. Nobody wants Fluffy to die. So, if we need dog food, we're going to go to the store, go directly to the dog food aisle, buy dog food, bring it home, or we go on Amazon, search for it, buy it within about 2 minutes. It's on the doorstep 2 days later. That's intention. I did not need a single piece of marketing or advertising to convince me to buy dog food whenever I have intention to buy something. And so here's the thing. What if you could be an agent? You could be in front of the people that actually have intention to buy real estate over the next 30, 60, or 90 days versus meeting somebody and then chasing them down for the next 24 months only for them to buy a home with Uncle Bob because he's drinking beer at their house on Sunday one day, right? And you're like, wait a second, we've been building a relationship for the last 2 years and you bought with somebody else, right? So where's the relationship happens after that? So if you look at this, they say, and look at the back-end analytics of our channel right here. They say 80% of the traffic online is through mobile. But if you look at the back-end analytics, it shows you right here, 55% of our traffic comes from TV, computer, and tablet. Those are research devices, which tells us people are sitting down and digging into this information. They also say attention spans are dead these days, which is why you're supposed to be a dancing real estate agent on TikTok, right? That's how you're going to generate your business. But look at the view duration on TV. 30% of our traffic comes from TV, and look at the view duration, 9 minutes and 39 seconds. Look at computer and tablet, 5 minutes and 52, 6 minutes and 39 seconds. So when you understand people's intention, then you can have their attention. And think about TV, 30%. People are sitting on their couch, maybe even laying in bed, probably with their spouse, watching our videos. How creepy is that, right? But they're dug in. That's why they have such long view durations. And that's why our average contact under contract is 47 days. Think about this. Out of those 217 transactions, the first time anybody reached out to us, we're getting them under contract in 47 days, again, because they're intentional. When they're calling us, they're ready to make a move. And so you ought to think about global versus local too. It's one thing to farm out your local area. That's pretty cool. But have you ever had, the ambition to go outside of your neighborhood or outside of your suburbs or outside of your city or your state or the country? I mean, when's the last time you cold called or sent postcards to the United Kingdom or Japan or South Korea? Probably never, right? Why would you in the first place? But look at this. Look at people viewing our channel. When's the last time you cold called at 2 a.m.? And we're getting what? 69 views at 2 in the morning, 70 views at 3 in the morning, 72 views at 4 in the morning. Okay, you're not going to cold call or door knock during those times, but the channel is reaching people on their time frame when they want to research, when they want to watch content, and so they're finding us that way. Think about this. We've helped people move from Japan. We've helped people move from Australia. Look, we just got this email the other day. I'm watching your channel. We live in Belgium, and we're moving to Dallas-Fort Worth. How would we ever market to somebody in Belgium? So we have a global audience, and people are coming to us because they're researching on YouTube. Do you think they're going to randomly find our badass website that Liftoff built for us, searching Dallas? Not likely. I mean, it is badass, but who's going to really stumble across our website and want to do business with us? But they're researching on YouTube because the person in Belgium is sitting there going, well, we just got transferred to Dallas. Never been to Dallas. We should research Dallas. Let's go on YouTube and find out what it looks like. And here we are providing all that value for them. So the thing is most agents tell me they don't get started on YouTube because it takes too much time. And YouTube doesn't take time, it makes you time. Look at this, one video, we filmed it in 30 minutes. We did it in one take, all right? But look at it, it's been watched over 9,400 hours. So that's like making a profit of our investment of 30 minutes, 9,399.5 hours. It's given us back that time. But take it a step further, that YouTube does not take time, it compounds your time. And here our channel is watched in one day, 1,514 hours. You divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 63 days. That means our channel prospected for us 63 days in one day. And if you're an agent making calls 2 hours a day. How are you going to compete with us whenever our channel is prospecting 63 days? But look at this, in 1 month, in July, the channel has watched 11,800 hours. That's equivalent to 1.34 years. But since we started, the channel was watched, 130,400 watch hours. You divide that by 24 hours in a day, that's equivalent to 14.88 years since we started. So when you think about that, we're compounding time. We're turning 1 day into 2.1 months. We're turning 1 month into 1.34 years. We're turning 1.5 years into 1.5 decades worth of prospecting. And guess what? If I pulled up our channel right now, we're probably getting on average 120 views at this moment. Am I prospecting? No. Where am I? I'm right here talking to you. But the channel is still working for us right now. So we're not worried about traveling or going to conferences or going on vacation because the channel is always working for us. But what this really comes down to is active prospecting is hard, right? I mean, it's why all sales training exists. It's why we're here today. We're learning new things so that we know how to build rapport, establish credibility, develop relationships, right? I mean, that's what we're doing. It comes with a ton of rejection. I love sales, been in sales for 20 years, but I hated prospecting because I spent 90% of my time doing it and the other 10% actually talking to people about the product or service that I wanted to provide them. So that's what I love about passive prospecting because it's easy. Right? There's really zero rejection. Nobody has ever called us to this day and said, we really hate your videos, guys, so we're not going to do business with you. Or I'm not in the market today. They don't call us to tell us the people that don't want to work with us don't call us at all. So we don't know that they even exist. And we're not chasing them down. So clients, whenever they find videos, they walk themselves through the entire sales process. Think about this. They go onto YouTube, they search for the information. Then your videos pop up. Then they click on the videos. Then they watch the videos. Then YouTube gives them more of your videos. And then they go down the rabbit hole and they binge watch. And the next thing you know, the video has built the entire relationship for us. So whenever they come to us, they've already made the decision that they want to work with us. All of our business is inbound. We did not reach out to a single person. They call us and they've already made that decision that they want to work with us. And we see this every single day. Look at the text and emails that we get nonstop. And look at the amount of information. These are cold emails to us. These are people reaching out to us. We've never met them before. And look at the amount of information they give. They give us the beds, the baths, the square footage, their price range, their kids' names. I mean, they'll give us everything in the initial email. Yes, they'll tell, and the dog too. I mean, they'll tell us about Fluffy, and we're sitting there going, but look at these key phrases. It's like, we would like to check with you if you'd be able to help us find a home. I look forward to hearing from you. Please let me know if you have some time to talk about this. If you have some time to talk about this, feel free to give me a call. So they're actually even asking us, do you even have time to work with us? Would you consider taking us on as a client? What would that mean to your business if you had people reaching out to you every single day asking you, would you work with them? That's passive prospecting. And now we've been able to help agents across the country do this. So Kyler down in Houston, he just posted this. He's like, he just hit 2,000 subscribers. Think about this. In 6 months of starting his channel, following exactly what we do, 2,000 subs, 140 active leads. He's already got closed 6 deals, got 2 more pending. And he says we're probably going to do another 6 more by the end of the year. So think about that. If you had a channel working for you, would an extra 8 to 10 or 15 transactions a year be worth it just to do what you're doing? So the thing is, and then you got Rochelle in Toronto. She posted this update just a little while ago too, and she said in the last 7 days, I generated closed 1.8 million, currently working on another 1.3 million, started a team, first agent, brand new, already gave her 4 deals. She closed 4 deals. I mean, this is what we see time and time again. Chris was a nurse, got burnt out during COVID, no sales experience, no real estate experience, saw what we were doing in a small market like Northwest Georgia and said, hey, like you said, he wanted to get out. I would too. If I was in the medical industry during COVID, I would definitely get out. And he was like, but he didn't want to do all that other stuff. Saw what we were doing, just started making videos in Northwest Georgia, not the hustle and bustle economy of real estate either. And he's closing 1 to 2 transactions a month now. Actually, they just sent me a text. I should have put that up there. He just got a $1.4 million cash buyer last night from his channel in Northwest Georgia, where the average home price is like $300,000, 1.4 million. And so they expect to turn that over pretty quickly. And so this is what allowed us to figure out the passive prospecting process, which is very simple. It consists of, if we start with the channel build out. Now think about this. Everything we've done has been very intentional and strategic. We study this stuff. Again, we went all in on YouTube. And so here's the deal. You look at the channel. First of all, we didn't name it Levi and Travis's home selling team. I mean, we didn't name our team that in the first place, but nobody is searching that, right? We weren't searchable. Nobody knew who we were. We had no brand. We had no presence. And so we figured out what's the top search term for real estate in Dallas. Well, it's living in Dallas, Texas, so we named the channel that. Well, guess what? Whenever they come to the channel as well and they look at to learn about living in Dallas, Texas, it doesn't say Levi and Travis, Dallas real estate agents, call us to buy, sell, or invest, and then our phone number, which is what you'll typically see. That's just a sales pitch, where here we're providing them value. We're giving them a reason of why they should subscribe to the channel, because people are on YouTube researching. So if they come across a channel and it says, hey, learn all about living in Dallas, Texas, do you think that's going to appeal to them more than just, hey, give me a call and here's my phone number? But also look on the left-hand side. We get a lot of clients coming in from California, New York, Illinois. So we put a picture there to create an instant, correspondence for them to really have that connection as soon as they come to the channel as well. Picture's worth 1,000 words, they say. So they see that. And a majority of our clients, since they're coming from those areas, they draw that connection there. But then also, if you link social medias on your YouTube channel, look at that on that right-hand side. This is where agents typically list TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Every single social they have, they put it there. And it's like, if you work so hard to get somebody to your channel in the first place, why distract them to a short-form platform where they're probably going to end up watching cat videos in the first place? They're not going to likely watch real estate videos there. So keep them on the channel. You worked hard to get them there in the first place. The only reason we give them to leave our channel is if it's to book a call with us, period. So that's it. So look at content creation. Very simple on the strategies. These work in any market. Vlog tours, map tours, pros and cons. Vlog tours, anybody can go onto Zillow or Realtor and look at pictures of inside and outside the house. But they can't see the house next door. They can't see the house down the street. They can't see the house across the street. They can't see the community pool and the neighborhood and the Chipotle around the corner, right? All the important stuff. So we actually take them out there and show them those things. You look at map tours. This is something that we just experimented with, just walking somebody through a map. Anybody can look at a map online of Dallas, but they can't get our perspective and our experience and our stories about what it's like to actually look at the map and what does it mean? What does this place mean as far as correlating here? Yes, you can look at traffic and all that other stuff, but what's the insiders, right? What's the insider viewpoint of that? Pros and cons may sound cheesy, but of course, everybody wants to know good and bad of living in your area. Top 5 neighborhoods, top 6 suburbs, any type of list video. People love that on YouTube as well. And then you look into search engine optimization. This is very important. This is very crucial because Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second largest search engine behind Google. So everything is optimized. We use a specific software that flip-flops thumbnails back and forth every other day so that we know which thumbnail works. We don't guess on this stuff. And look at this, the first one, just changing something very simple. It's a 20% more click-through rate on the thumbnail that won. But look at the number 2, 387% more clicks than the other thumbnail. That's very important. That compounds, that adds up over time. And it's just by changing a few words. Or we change the picture on that last one. Think about this, 648% more click-through rates. YouTube loves a click-through rate of between 2 to 10%. Well, if we would have went with our original guess on the thumbnail, it would have got less than 1% clicks. And so YouTube probably would have never promoted that video. But because we changed out the picture and tested it, it got almost 6% click-through rate. So YouTube's going to promote that video because people are clicking on it in the first place. And that's the most important thing. You could have a great video, but if you've got a terrible thumbnail and nobody clicks on it, YouTube's never going to promote that video because it's telling them that people are not even interested in clicking on it in the first place. And then you have lead conversion. If you want to, if you have to do anything twice in your business, then you should have a system, a process, a campaign, or a trigger, something that's automated. I've never sent a second email to our lender. We have a process. They get moved through the process. Whenever we actually move them in the CRM to send a lender, it sends out automatic emails to the lender, to the agent, to the client, to the transaction coordinator. Everybody that needs to get sent that email gets sent that email. And of course, the CRM customizes it to the client, but I've never done that. I've never done a second email and a third email. And so you need to automate as much as possible through there. And so then we developed the passive production process, because as we started to help agents understand this, what would happen is they would get through, things that we would help them do. We would help them, show them how to do this through training and education. Then they get stuck trying to find VAs and editors and things like that. It is difficult, and you know that they're hard to find sometimes. So that we built this up to where you film the video. We actually built out an agency so we build out the channel, we edit, we optimize, we publish, we support, and go through there. So if I can, I'm going to kind of wrap it up here, and let me tell you a quick story, because the thing is that let's tell this story because this is for those that have doubt. Think about this. We just started this journey about 18 months ago, and we're not any different than anybody in this room. And the thing is that I grew up in Stephenville, Texas. It's a small town about 2 hours south of Dallas. And there's really not much going on there. If you're not milking cows or riding bulls, then really nothing else to do there. And my parents didn't go to college. My 2 older brothers didn't go to college. And so I literally grew up my whole life thinking, well, I'm not going to go to college either. And everybody at my hometown works labor jobs. And I did the same thing for about a year after high school, mopping floors, stocking shelves, until I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life. I got to get out of here. And what do country boys do to get out of the country? We join the military. Because I thought this would be an easy way to get out and get some money for college. This was 1999. And I thought, you know what, the world was at peace. The last Gulf War ended 9 years earlier. It ended in 9 days. And so nobody's going to mess with us ever again, right? I could literally go in, get some money for college, get out, no problem. That's what I thought. And then 2 years later, September 11th happened. And then the next thing I know, I'm deployed in Iraq. And I was a sergeant in the infantry, ran gun trucks, combat patrols, quick reaction force in the middle of Baghdad in 2005. So not the best time to be there. I got out and I got into CrossFit. That was kind of happening, a big thing around 2006. And I've always been mostly in shape. I played high school football. The military kept me in shape. And so that was just something that I naturally progressed to. I was like, oh, CrossFit, that's pretty cool. I wanted to get my mind off of everything. But the problem was I came home from Iraq with a digestive disease. And it messed with me for about 8 years. And then until 2013 happened. And then I ended up losing 50 pounds in a single month. And then I became bedridden and disabled, and it nearly killed me. And so for 3 months, this was the most excruciating, painful time in my life. I saw 4 different GI doctors. They threw the kitchen sink at me with medication, steroids, IV antibiotics, hospital stays, everything. Could not get me better. And I didn't think I'd make it through this. But it was really by God's grace that I found a natural doctor, and the natural doctor is like, well, hey, let's just change your diet and put you on some vitamins and see how that works. And literally within about 3 weeks, I started to get better, and then I started to get better. Now, it ended up taking me a full year to recover, but I was able to recover without any medication or surgery. And I did that 100% natural. And so now the reason I share that is because I just want everyone to understand that my life is probably a lot like your life. It's just full of ups and downs. And it's really the decisions that we make that either move us out of that situation and move forward, or it's the indecision or the lack of action, right, that'll keep us hunkered down and probably dig us in a deeper hole. And so the thing is that, whenever K through 12, I show my life, I'm like, K through 12, pretty good. I was on an uphill trajectory, right? Joined the military, thought that was going to be pretty easy until I got deployed. That was a huge mental setback because, we lost a couple of our team members in Iraq, and you don't get time to feel sorry for yourself. You don't get time to mourn. You don't get days off. You have to complete the mission. We worked 7 days a week, and you have to move forward. And so you didn't have time, which is why soldiers have a lot of trouble when they come home, because then they have time to process everything. And so whenever I came home, that's why I had to, I got into work and CrossFit just to kind of get my mind off of that stuff. I got a job with the pharmaceutical company and did really well until I became disabled. And then all of a sudden that put me back to zero, right? And I ended up losing that job because they wanted me to come back to work after 90 days and I wasn't physically able. And so that's whenever I started my financial services business in recovery. And from there, The last 5 years was really great. Every single year I did better than the last year. I got contracts with Dallas Independent School District, worked with all the teachers on their retirement planning, and every year was better than the last year. 2019 was my best financial year, and then 2020, the first quarter was my best financial quarter. And then all the schools shut down, right? COVID comes in, 30 million layoffs, the world shuts down. And so I was sitting there over the summer of 2020 asking myself, okay, I was 41, and how do I start over without starting over? How do I make a change? And here comes my buddy Michael Reese back after 20 years. I mean, he's been trying to get me in real estate for 20 years, but the whole time now he's like, all right, Levi, now's the time. Like, real estate's starting to really grow. You know, this, if you're going to transition, this is the time to do it. And again, I was reluctant because I was scared. I'm like, first of all, I'm 41. I got to start over. And again, how do I start over without starting over? And plus, how do I go into real estate? I didn't want to get into the traditional methods. Do you think it was attractive to think, oh, I can cold call again, and I can go door knock, and I can shake hands and kiss babies? It just wasn't something I was interested in. But then I thought, let me pause. And over 2020, during that summer, instead of watching Tiger King, I was like, let me figure out a way, if there's a way to generate some business here. So instead of just getting into real estate and then trying to figure it out, I paused and said, let me figure this out and see if I can develop a plan before I get into real estate. I knew if I wanted to attract business, it would be through social media. But then which platform? I knew if I tried to do all 5 platforms at once, what was I going to do? 20% on each platform, 20% effort, it's going to give me 20% results, or probably 0 results. 20% effort on 5 different platforms will probably get you 0. So I knew I wanted to pick one platform, but which one would that be? Everybody was talking about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, especially TikTok in 2020, because every agent woke up with 10,000 followers, right? They'd wake up one morning, they'd be like, oh, I've got 10,000 followers on TikTok. You should be on TikTok. But I didn't see a lot of people turning over business. I know agents that have turned over business from there and they've done well, but I didn't see a lot of agents. I saw them gaining a lot of followers, but I didn't see the substance back there. So the thing is YouTube was the last choice. And whenever I looked at YouTube and discovered YouTube was a search engine and not a social platform, then I thought, oh, I can actually build some content and a plan, and that's the missing piece. Is the thing is I wasn't a good real estate agent. I wasn't even really a real estate agent, but I understood Dallas, and if I could create content about Dallas, which I've lived in Dallas for 20 years, well, I know Dallas inside and out, and if that's what people are researching, and remember, I figured out that they have intention, and they're not searching the title process and the escrow process. They're searching what are the best neighborhoods, what are the best schools, what's it like to live in Dallas? And so that I could talk about, that I was an expert on, and so that's where we made the content. So ultimately, I just say that because it took 22 years to be an overnight success. Yes, we've had a very fast rise in real estate over the last 2 years, but what I realized was that I wasn't starting over. I was starting with 20 years of sales and marketing experience in my back pocket. I just needed to apply it in a different format, in a different way. And what I didn't want to do was get back into one-on-one transactional sales and conversations with people. And so all I did was figure out a way to scale yourself at scale, and that's through video. That's what you do. So ultimately what it comes down to is you've got to choose your hard. You know, it's hard working out, but to me it's a lot harder being sick. And it's hard owning a business, but to me it's a lot harder having a job. And it's hard making videos, but to me it's a lot harder making calls. But nobody has to convince me to make videos because, you know, in the first year we did $1 million in commissions off of 160 videos. Now that's like getting paid $6,300 a video. But this year, in the first half of the year, we generated 2.6 from 56 videos. So that's like making almost $47,000 a video. So if I offered you $47,000 to go make a video, would you do it? Yeah, probably so. And you'd probably ask, well, how many videos will you pay me to do that? Because I'll make 10 or 20 or 30. You would probably have no problem going out and making a video. And so that's the point. And so I just got to ask you, you know, what do you believe? I believe if you're not where you're at and where you want to be, it's just because you haven't learned something yet. But when you find that one thing, I believe you can hyper learn any subject in 60 days if you go all in. And then if you take massive action and apply that you can absolutely change your business and your life within 6 months, just like we did. And so here we go. We're working on a book right now. If you want to sign up and be the first to know whenever we release that, that would be awesome. You can scan that. If you want to tag us, Levi Lascsak and Travis Plumb, let us know, hey, you're on the list. That would be really cool. And if you want to know more about getting the step-by-step playbook, if you want to know absolutely everything that we've done, wow, that really goes off, and that was right on time. But scan that code. You can, if you want to schedule a call, we've got a full course on this to help you through. Again, that's if those of you that want to do video on YouTube, that's our specialty. I can't help you cold call or do great open houses, but we can help you do video. And if that's something you're interested in, then give us a call. We'll let you know. Thank you.